Well, that did not go as planned, guys. Did not at all go as planned. I'm sure by now, just judging on my energy and attitude, you already know what happened, right? That script did not go as planned at all. And so, you know, I usually like to wait until my emotions are under control before I discuss the game, because sometimes, you know, you're not thinking clearly. But I decided I wanted to just go ahead and address the game right now, just get it out of the way. So first of all, let's start with the lineup, right? Let's start with the lineup. I would say that the lineup was probably the strongest team that we could have put out today. Like, one of the things that I had mentioned in my preview video yesterday is that I would have liked to see a defensive player in that holding midfield position, i.e. Inigo Martinez, considering that Christensen was out with suspension, and also because Sergio Roberto also unavailable to suspension. So one of the suggestions that I made for the lineup was to put Inigo Martinez in that holding midfield position where Busquets would normally play, and then Frankie de Jong and Gundogan would be those other two midfield players. That right there would give both Frankie and Gundogan the ability to get more involved in the attack, which is where they're more, successful. Pedri, for me, is fresh back from injury. I thought, and I said it, you could go back and watch, I said that he would be best coming off the bench just because he's just fresh back from injury. You know, this is a massive game to throw him in right from the jump, right? And so that was my initial thought. Keep the front line what it was, Lewandowski in the middle, Rafinha on the left, and Lamine on the right? Keep it just like that. So, minus the Pedri thing, I thought that the starting lineup was a good one. And I mean, probably the strongest that we could really have put out there, right? So, from that perspective, full marks. I can't fault Xavi. I think that, you know, he's looking at it like, okay, we need to go at it. We need to give it everything we got. And this is the best way to do so. So I get that, right? Now, everything was just as scripted, guys. I'm telling you, man, football, you gotta love this sport. This sport will break your heart, and this sport will give you joy unlike nothing else. You gotta love this sport. Everything was going as planned. I knew, everybody should already know that PSG was going to come and attack. They had to. They had no choice. I knew they was going to start with Barcola, Dembélé, and Mbappe in the front line. They did just that. I knew that. We knew Hakimi was coming back from suspension. No mysteries there. They did exactly what they needed to do. They needed to come out strong, attack us, try to create, something out of nothing. They did that. They failed. As expected, and that's exactly what we needed to do. We needed to be disciplined defensively. We did that. And we hit them when they didn't see it coming. Bam, on the 12th minute. 1-0. 4-2 for the tie. Perfect start. We managed the game so well right up until that red card. And, I'm sitting there hoping and praying like, oh my God, I hope VAR can save us. I hope there's a reason for VAR to save us. And, my assessment of that red card, it could have gone either way. Right? That could have been a penalty. It could have been a penalty, and we would have conceded more likely the equalizer that early. Probably would have went behind before the end of the first half. But with all things considered, okay, it was a red card. It was given. It sucked. We lost a rock in the defense. We lost a rock in the team. And more importantly, we lost two key players because now we had to take out Lamine Yamal so that we can solidify the back line. My initial thought was, okay, Xavi, this is a bad position to be in. But I felt for a moment there that we could have still kept what we had on the field. Frankie had kind of dropped back into a defensive position and filled that hole. And I'm like, maybe we could have kept that, keep Lamine on for a little longer for the rest of the half and see if we could generate something before the half, right? That was my initial thought. But then after I saw just the onslaught of attack after attack from Dembélé, from everybody, I was like, okay, maybe it was the right decision to just go ahead and bring on a defender. But we lost a key player in the attack, which completely just destroyed our offense line. And, you know, so that was the pivotal moment. That was the turning point. And with all things considered, we ended the first half on a positive note. Yes, we conceded the equalizer, but we were still 4-3 on aggregate. We were still in control. And I knew it was going to be a long second half for us to defend the entire half. You know, they have 3 tricky, speedy, skillful, capable attackers. So I knew trying to defend for 45 minutes was going to be an almost impossible task. And Barcelona doesn't defend. That's not Barca's style of football. We attack. We cause problem, right? For Barca to be less ball possession and be on the back foot defending for an entire half, that's not our style. But we didn't have enough on the field to really go. And I don't know, guys, like, you know, there's still emotions because when I analyze the game from a broad lens, right? Lewandowski was nowhere near his best today. And by the way, this is not finger pointing. I'm not blaming him. We didn't lose the game because of Lewandowski, but he wasn't his best today at home in front of his home fans, fully rested. He was far from his best. He could not control the ball. His layoffs weren't accurate. The flick-ons that he did last week so brilliantly he wasn't pulling those off. So we were missing that element, right? Like he did so well last week in the first leg, but he could not replicate that same level of performance today. That cost us offensively, right? Once we went down, a man and Lamine had to come off. Then we lost everything we had going forward. Now we're chasing the game. We're defending. We're getting balls played around us in front of our faces at home. You know, so you know it's and then you know there was a moment there when we kind of like went for it, and I'm like, let's go, guys, come on, right? And you felt like maybe, this is before they scored the 4th goal. You felt like maybe, just maybe, we can nick one, get that, tie up the aggregate, take it to extra time. I didn't want extra time because we just, we didn't have a bench. We didn't have a bench to turn to that was going to sustain us through extra time. So I didn't want extra time. But once the tie got away from us and it was no longer in our control, I figured, let's get one. Let's go to extra time and see what happens there. At least the players left it all on the field. And I think they did. You know, I do believe that our big players let us down. Gundogan passes, again, not pointing fingers, not blaming our players, Emotions are still high, obviously. I'm super disappointed. I'm sure all the Barca fans are super disappointed. You see some people crying in the stadium, right? So I'm not blaming the players. I'm just saying that it would have been nice to see us go for it a little bit more. Gundogan, for as creative and as experienced as he is, he had a few misplaced passes, man. Rafinha, same thing. Lewandowski, I addressed that already. And Ferran came out, we had a little spell there in the 80-something minute where it felt like we were about to get something going, and then bam, we conceded another goal. So it's deflating. It's really deflating. It's sad. It's painful. It's disappointing. But I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of the team because, considering everything that we had going on with this team over the last several months, we weren't, the script did not have us here in the quarterfinals. And I swore up and down that we would have made it to the finals. And I felt that once we got there, we would have won it. Didn't go as planned. It could have, though. It so could have gone according to plan. Right? I'm not flattered by that 4-1 scoreline because in all honesty, once we went down 2-1, the game was already, it got away from us, right? And when you're chasing with a man down, with Dembele, Mbappe, and Barcola on the other side, waiting for those counter breaks, we never stood a chance. And when you look at our bench, no disrespect to our bench, but who did we have on the bench to come on? That's why I said, for me, Pedro needed to come off the bench, right? Because had we started with Inigo Martinez in the holding midfield, Gundogan and Frankie de Jong, and let's say things just weren't going as planned. Let's say we still got that red card. You could have easily taken off either Frankie or Gundogan or even Inigo. You could have switched any one of those midfielders, bring in Pedri, and slot one of those guys in. You know, you could have just moved them around. It could have given us something more offensively at that point, at that stage in the game going forward. But Fermin could not come in and impact the game how we wanted to. João Felix could have, but you need support. You need the ball to get up to them. And PSG was panicking for a moment, guys. In the dying moments in the second half, PSG was panicking. We could have gotten that aggregate leveler, took it to extra time, and possibly came away on top after extra time. It could have happened. It didn't. And I'm sad. I'm deflated. Normally when Barcelona loses games, I am just so depressed and deflated for quite some time until I get it out my system. Today, I'm more disappointed. I'm proud of the team for what they've accomplished this far. I'm disappointed because, I felt like even if we got to the finals of the Champions League and we didn't win it, I felt as though that would have been in itself an incredible achievement for this season. And even if we miss out on La Liga, which La Liga is not in our hands. It never was. It's Madrid's to lose, right? So I'm just hopeful and optimistic, but it really is Madrid's to lose, not for us to win. So the Champions League was the only real chance of something, right? And it was only so because of the path. Because, I thought Atleti was going to make it through. That never happened. That didn't go as planned either. Dortmund did. However, Dortmund, I feel like we would have been able to take them, right? I felt like whoever we got in the semifinals, we would have been able to take them. And, at this point, none of that matters. None of it matters. And it's disappointing. But, I do appreciate you guys for, listening to my preview, my analysis, for just following me, for subscribing to my channel. I do appreciate that. There's more to come. It's unfortunate, but we got to get this out of our system because El Clasico is on Sunday. So we got to get this out of our system. It's disappointing. We got to shake it off. We got to just refocus our brain and our minds, because honestly, even if we don't win La Liga, I would love for us to go to Bernabeu, put on a fantastic performance, and come away victors. I would love to go there and win impressively. So we can't dwell on this. It was a great run into the quarterfinals. It's been a long time since we've been here, and we've achieved a lot with a depleted team. So, disappointing result tonight. It sucks not being able to move on to the next stage, but I'm still proud of the team. I'm grateful for your support, guys. And, I'm just gonna have to just let this get through my system, get out. Maybe I'll go have a drink or something just to kind of help calm me down and get it out my system, And so let me know how you guys are feeling. I know it's disappointing. I know you guys are probably just deflated right now. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what your thoughts were about that red card. Let me know if we got the starting lineup correct. If you would have changed anything different. Just go ahead and let me know your feelings in the comment section down below, guys. And, I feel for you. I hope that you guys recover from this one, and I will see you in the next video. I still say Visca Barcelona. I'm still gonna support my team to the core no matter what. So I hope you feel the same way. And until the next one, guys, more peace, more love.